Derek, thanks so much for doing the interview with me. Great you found some time in your busy schedule. You are Executive Vice President and CSO of for Research and Development at DLF. Yeah. Can you share some exciting R&D innovations that are in the DLF pipeline?
Yeah, sure, Marcel. And first, thanks for your interest in DLF. With regards to the innovation, I'd say we're always bringing new and improved varieties to the market across our portfolio. Just a few of the ones we're excited by are those that also bring specific solutions to the end users. Some examples, we have a portfolio of forage grasses coming onto the market in Europe where we've validated using our advanced Radimax facility in Denmark that the roots have 30% more depth and root mass, which is especially important with the increasing prevalence of spring drought. And due to this deep root feature, they can produce 30% more yield under drought than standard varieties. We also have some perennial grazing forages in the pipeline that contribute to methane and greenhouse gas emission reductions. So a series of forage crops with up to 10% better fiber digestibility, branded as fiber energy, and this improvement equals a reduction in the CO2 equivalent per litre of milk produced. And perennial grazing forages in New Zealand, Ecotane is a great example that has a big impact on nitrogen mitigation and provides huge reductions in nitrogen leaching from animal urine patches while still giving great feed quality. And one of the more exciting ones coming next year, if we look into sugar beet, the removal of chemical protection from markets in Europe had a pretty devastating effect in 2020, where farmers, for example, in France saw up to 50% yield loss due to virus yellow disease. And this is a problem we've been working on for many years, and we now have some really impressive varieties with a high degree of virus yellow resistance that will bring an immediate and robust solution. So our first variety, I'm pleased to say, is entering the market next year in Europe, and we already have improvements in the pipeline that'll come soon after that.
Excellent. Wow, that's a very nice lineup of exciting innovations that are coming out. Good luck with that. You make it sound so very easy, but of course, such product development is never that easy. How do you go about it to develop those new products?
Yeah, it is true. We do have a large range of species that we breed in and a wide number of markets actually in which our products are used and different farming systems within those markets. I don't think we've ever really looked at it as difficult. Sure, it's challenging, but it's also can be invigorating because it's really about collectively thinking about how can we come up with a better solution for the end user. So I think the key thing here is recognizing that estimating what the market will need in the mid or long term is not really the sole domain of R&D and not the sole domain of our sales or commercial teams, but it's our shared responsibility. So ensuring that the research and the commercial business are partners and close in the decision-making process along the product development pathway is really crucial. And trusting and empowering our colleagues that are in the region, they're close to the market, who can bring that information about what the needs are, is really important as well. One of the things that helps us is that we keep both the end users and our growers in mind. So, of course, we look at the product, what the value proposition is for that product that we want to develop, and what new opportunities does it offer to end users, but also ensure that we're developing something that we can actually produce consistently and that our growers can be successful with. So ensuring the research and the commercial are really close in partnership and collaboration along that pathway is really important for us.
Excellent. Sounds great. Derek, I'm hearing a lot in the media about producing more with less input specifically. How is DLF going about it?
Yeah, this is a really important challenge for the future of agriculture we see as well. The virus yellow resistant sugar beet I just mentioned is one example where we're producing more with less input in the form of the chemistry input. But generally, we tend to also talk about the inputs in the scope of water and nitrogen. And we really do see great opportunities for grasses, especially because of the deeper root system, that allow us to keep achieving increases in production and yield while striving for that reduced input. If we expand our vision a little bit to realise we're not just trying to increase yield in a single crop, but provide our customers with the most productive pasture possible, then I think it allows space for us to come up with some innovative solutions. And a really good example of this is the Peloton Rhamnobrassica, which is one of our forage crops in New Zealand, where we've combined the strengths of kale and radish in an interspecies cross. And so not only does this give something with greater disease resistance and robust feed supply during early spring, impressively, the water use efficiency has also been increased by almost 40% with this crop. And on the aspect of nitrogen, we all know legumes are a powerful source of nitrogen fixation, and we have a strong focus on forage legumes, not just alfalfa, but DLF is also the global leader in clover legumes such as white clover, red clover, and annual clovers. And an interesting area, not just in forages, but if we look at turf and the green spaces that we enjoy, one of the potential contributors there is microclover. So, of course, sports clubs and local governments share our common desire to maintain green spaces while helping to pursue sustainability targets and decrease the climate footprint. And this is where we believe our microclover products can really have an important role to play as a component in the lawns and turf, because they do fix nitrogen. And we know that nitrogen fertilizer application can be significantly reduced when microclover is a component of the lawns. So we already have the first generation of these on the market. We're currently developing the second generation that can stand up to the demands of professional sports. So hopefully in the near future, we'll also see these contributing to more sustainable professional sports fields as well.
Thanks, Derek. But you have to clarify one thing for me. Your company, DLF, is, of course, mainly known for its grass varieties. In all the major sports events, you guys are there to provide the perfect pitch. But in the media, we're seeing and hearing a lot about food security. You know, with all the various challenges over growing population, climate change. How is DLF contributing to providing more food security?
Yeah, this is a good question, Marcel, and a really important question. I agree. I think when many people think of grass, they picture a lawn or a sports field. But our crops have a very important role to play in the stable global food supply. Mm-hmm. Our businesses around the globe do go beyond grass and even a broad range of forage and feed. I mentioned sugar beet earlier. Depending on the market, it does include other crops. And we have an important contribution in the multiplication of vegetable seed as well as part of the supply chain for that. Shifting back to the grass and the forages, I think one of the key features is that our products produce feed consistently over a much broader seasonal window. And moreover, this is with greater resilience or robustness to adverse conditions such as drought or cold, and the regrowth you get after that still allows for that productivity from the fields. At the same time, our pastures are an important part of the crop rotation. So mixed pastures are not just feed for animals, but are also a chance to improve the soil quality and the vitality of the land. So when you look at standard cropping systems, the gradual loss of productivity can be significant, whereas pasture systems play a key role in improving the soil structure and the soil nutrients. So using our products in rotations can help maintain or reboost, I would say, the land productivity for these other crops and for other agricultural products. And lastly, one of the things we're getting a little bit excited about is if we charge directly at food security, we're also looking at homegrown proteins, because we believe that many areas need to contribute to a solution, and there's not going to be a single stop answer here, a one-stop answer. So protein's very expensive to transport around the world, and depending on where it's sourced from, there are also concerns about the climate impact of that protein. And we believe grasses can provide a very sustainable path to produce proteins at home in Europe. So not only do we believe it, we're actually taking action. We're partnering in a new company called BioRefine Denmark to produce green protein directly from grass and clover for monogastric animals, such as chicken, pigs, and possibly eventually humans. And right now, we're also breeding for higher protein content in our grass and clover for this purpose.
Wow, amazing contributions towards food security. Thanks for sharing that, Derek.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks so much for the interest.